Hello, hello. Gonna mute this mic. Oh, it already was. So, I hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday. Just gonna keep my volume up here for a second just to make sure that it's working properly because the other day it was not. Looks like it is. I decided to kind of do an impromptu live. Bear with me for just a second here. I know I've said that already. Comments. I don't know why it defaults to no comments. Hello, everybody. Oh, thank you, Jenny. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Jude. So I thought that I would share. Let me get rid of that. I thought I would share an easy way to do a project with a stamp set that you haven't used yet. So I've got a bunch of wrapping to do and no wrapping paper left. Not of any significance anyways. They're all like itty bitty pieces. So in Manitoba, in Winnipeg specifically, we are in code red for the pandemic. This thing is kind of floopy. Leave it like that. So we are in code red. So we can only shop for things that are essential. And I'm telling you, I cannot find wrapping paper or Scotch tape or anything that I really need for wrapping. So luckily, I have this gigantic roll of like craft type paper. So I thought, okay, I just realized that's a good spot for that. So I thought, okay, let's use that. And here's the result. So you know that I haven't used this Joyful Holly stamp set yet, right? I just want to try and make this part bigger for just a second. Well, you know what? Let's just leave it. It's working, right? You know that I haven't used this. This was one of the main reasons I was going to do uninkedAF because I had stamp sets that I hadn't even used. Well, I can't say that now, and you can tell by this one that I used it. And it was to create this paper. So I did a couple other presents. My son has some DVDs, so I used Way to Goat, which I hadn't used. It's under the tree. I learned after wrapping the first present that I can't stamp it after it goes on the gift. You have to measure what you need and do it as you're going. So I thought I would share. The back of this one isn't so interesting, but I thought I would share how to do this. It's not rocket science, but if you are in the same position as me and you need to make some wrapping paper, I thought, you know what? Let's give it a shot. So I have used Joyful Holly. On this one, I only used Joyful Holly and Sweetest Time for the dies. Everything is out of place because I had to move it to be able to fit my computer here. So I just used the holly leaves and berries for this. I have done one with you know what, I'll take a picture. I don't need to list everything that I've used already. But I thought this was a fun way to use something that we hadn't used already. Hi, Kathy, Emily, Linda, Debbie. Well, and this is another way to make it a little more personal because, I mean, we're in a pandemic. Side note, no, you can only see the host code when I put this here. I do still have my current special going. So if you're in Canada and you place an order from the clearance rack or the retiring product, or place an order of $60 and you're getting an entry to win the mini Stampin' Cut and Boss machine, which will be given in January, you will get this week's make and takes, which were a cute little tin and card. They're tucked away back there. And the words, one of these. You'll get a full Stampin' Seal, or if you would prefer, you can get a Stampin' Seal Plus refill. So the choice is yours, but you will get all of that for a mere $60 before taxes and shipping if you order this week. I don't remember where I was going with all that, but let's get to it. So I have another, this is a book, and it's really using scraps and very minimal supplies. Oh, I remember where I was going. Okay, my daughter has gone dairy free, so Dave thought it was a great idea to get her some cookbooks, and I agreed. Where I was going with that side note is my kid's stepmom tested positive for COVID. Turns out so has their dad and their stepsister now. I can't believe I didn't think to put this there before, probably because it blocks my light, but whatevs. So they tested positive. My son is now on isolation for the next 2 weeks. So he's in his room, like right in front of me. I've got this handy dandy little paper cutter that I got years ago that works like a charm, just so that I don't get extra paper. Let's do that. So he's on self-isolation. Hi, Diane. And I won't try and talk over that. His TV is now in his room. He has to eat in there. He has to do everything. We don't have a bathroom that he can use because we only have one with the shower. So public health is calling like all the time. And now that my ex-husband and his stepdaughter have tested positive, I'm like, oh, am I going to have to go through all these calls again for 2 more people? But I mean, we have to take his temperature every couple hours. Oh, I mean, he was just there last weekend, and luckily he stayed in his room for the most part. But let me tell you, this is not fun. And there's a lot of things you can't order online. Okay, so I am going to do this exactly the same as I did the first time around. I will tell you, though, that there is some stamping that you really don't know you're going to need it until you know which is the front. So we're going to go really heavy in the center here. You don't need so much on the back, but I did end up stamping probably 3 or 4 of these holly leaves when when I had wrapped it. And this is a scrap left over from Creativity Delivered. Tiffany and I did the poinsettia play suite in November, and this was one of the cutouts, and then I just added this holly. And this, I don't use retired product often, but this was in my Christmas wrapping like ribbon bin from last year, so I'm using it. Thank you, Melanie. What couldn't you comment on before, my dear? Thank you, Melanie. With this undercut growing out, it really looks terrible in a ponytail, and that's how I had a nice long bath this morning, got my hair all washed, got into fresh clothes. Like these are big accomplishments during COVID, don't you think? Okay, so what I'm going to do is just repeat what I did the first time, and that is to use Garden Green for the outline and Pear Pizzazz for the filler, and then I used Real Red for the berries, which of course stained the stamp. If you have ordered recently, I know my team is experiencing this. I'm experiencing this. I actually emailed Stampin' Up! This morning. There have been some picking delays, some shipping delays, and this isn't on Stampin' Up! It's getting a little frustrating. I had expedited an order. Diane, you're not surprised. I expedited an order last Tuesday. I don't even remember what went live that day. That was so last week, I don't know. But I expedited an order, which means that if the order is placed by 10 a.m. Mountain, which is 11 a.m. Central, it ships the same day and it gets here in 2 days. Awesome, right? But it comes at a premium cost. So I've been doing a lot of expediting lately, but I have a few orders that are just regular service, which is like a week and a day, and it's painful. It's so painful. But expedited orders are FedEx and regular orders are UPS. So not such a fan of UPS. But my FedEx order that I placed last Tuesday, which should have and did ship on Tuesday, will not arrive till the following Tuesday. So I emailed Stampin' Up! I'm like, this isn't okay. If I wanted a week's service, I would have paid the $9.95 for UPS, not $35 plus for FedEx. And it's been sitting in their warehouse for days. I'm like, come on. I have festivity delivered I have to prep for this weekend because, we have a tight timeline this time. You guys want your kits, right? So because I needed such a big block for this other holly leaf, I did do most of them with this one. That's probably enough. I remember I need to focus in here, so it may seem like there's too many, but it should be just right. I do need to ink my garden green. It's funny how captioning comes up when I'm streaming this way. I've never seen captioning on my Facebook Live, only on YouTube, but it's captioning. Oh, yeah, Melanie, that's not good either. Ugh. Oh, Debbie, I hope your is it dog? I hope your dog's okay. Squirrel syndrome, like big time today. So I went live in my polished AF group as well this morning because with Gel Moment, FedEx delivers on Saturdays. So take the disappointment of Stampin' Up's order not arriving on time, which should have been Thursday, and add Gel Moment that gets delivered on a Saturday. So I got a gift from my upline for promoting. I'm like halfway through the levels. It's crazy. And I got my nail stamping kit, which you probably can't see. But I have to record my press-on class today using coffee. You really can't see it. But I did this cute little coffee cup on there, and then it looks kind of like cream mixed into coffee. So I did a very quick live doing that. I shouldn't ink up a stamp and then not use it, right? Okay, I think probably the rest we can get away with doing once it's wrapped. I'm also thinking there's another set that I haven't used. The Wishes and Wonder. It has some great tags, but I'm not going to do it right now, but I may use it for some of the wrapping paper. It's got some great tag dies. Like, I love these. The images, not so much. I don't know what it is. But I mean, I may use the sleigh and the North Pole thing from one of my son's gifts. But there's a cute little deer, and it's another one that I just have not used. This thing keeps like bopping around. I have not used it to anywhere near its potential. But I feel like after having used this, was it Joyful Holly, at least I've inked it up. I feel good, not guilty, because I am actually thinking, seriously, guys, so distracted today. Like, I can't focus on a single train of thought. I rearranged my stamps. So if you've been watching any of my recent lives, I had my retired stuff like just, where's my hand? Over there. And it wasn't working. I kept forgetting. And with Celebration and the new mini coming in, I thought, okay, did some rearranging. I needed some better light because an order from Amazon that was supposed to be here last Thursday has been stuck in Thunder Bay for a week. And that has a light in it. So I thought, okay, pardon my fat arm there. I'm going to figure something else out. So that light strand that I had like held up in one of my videos, I've now figured that out, which is awesome. And how did that pool so much? I now moved, seriously, there's no name for this kind of squirrel syndrome. I moved all my retired items, alphabetical, because I'm a nerd like that, alphabetical over there, and then all of the Celebration and basically what would be occasions is over there. And then all of my current stuff is right in front of me. So I figured that was kind of a good compromise. Now with these leaves, we are, no way! I did hear last week, was it last week? It might have been the weekend before. I attended one of my team members' online bingos, and her kit, not her, like, I was sending something to her, and it arrived on a Sunday. And someone was saying that it's because it's near Christmas and Canada Post is running like 24/7. Okay, so there are two different leaves. As you saw, I stamped 2 different ones. There's also 2 different fillers because you can't fill them with 2 different stamps. So this one can be a little tricky to line up, but it's also super cute if it doesn't line up perfectly. Now, the easiest way to tell which one is which is this one that I'm doing now has 2 holly leaves at the bottom. And there's a couple of leaves in there that help to line it up. I'm using Pear Pizzazz. This is a little awkward because it's so big, but I would encourage you to take a look at your stash. Take a look at maybe some small gifts that you have to wrap, because maybe you don't have a big roll of craft paper. And believe me, I jumped for joy when I found this in my closet. I don't remember why I bought it. I want to say it was like shipping paper when I was doing knitting or something. But I jumped for joy because I thought, how am I going to wrap the very Amazon Christmas that we're having? Look how far off that one was. 2020, the year of the very Amazon Christmas. I think they should make a Hallmark movie named that. This is a lot harder to do when I can't put my head right over it, so I hope you will forgive me for my bad snapping. Comments just aren't popping up. I'm just reading Melanie's comments. You know what? There aren't there aren't that many that are left. My daughter was doing most of the wrapping, and I think that's why we ran out. But I think also we had so much from years past that I didn't buy any last year. So I am doing the kind of the last items that are coming in. Our tree it's pretty healthy looking Christmas under there right now. So don't worry, I got it. But I also think these are like little ones for my kids, my adult kids. And my daughter always says, oh, Brandon's your favorite. Brandon's your favorite. You don't love me. So I want to put some extra special thought and effort into her gifts. Basically my way of saying, zip it, child. I love you both. I'm going to tell you, with this Dollarama Christmas hat on, you can't move your head too fast or you'll like knock yourself out. I didn't think to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I'm hoping that none of the health people call right now. Let's see if we can turn it off on here. On for 1 hour. So what is everyone up to this wonderful weekend? What are we, 2 weekends away from Christmas? If you're looking for me, I'll be here stamping and wrapping presents. So while I was going through the uninked thought in my head, I thought, you know what? I should choose some colors that I wouldn't normally choose. Garden Green and Pear Pizzazz. Neat. I would usually go to Shaded Spruce and probably Mossy Meadow. Not together, but these are not greens that I use often. We've got one more. Now, I learned the hard way when I had to stamp a whole bunch once the book was wrapped, that I shouldn't put all this stuff away because I ended up pulling it out like 3 times. So I'm just going to put this off to the side. And I want to show you a fun little fact about these berries. How's this time for everyone? Noon Central on a Saturday. I just looked at my watch and thought, okay, it's 11:51. We could go live at noon. Look, I'm starting to look like Kermit. I did have a clear A block somewhere. Okay, so let's get out the Staining Real Red. This part is going to be tricky, not being able to like go right down. Oh, poor Jenny's going stir crazy. You don't. Oh, Linda, she never stops. And you know what? In her defense, she is the younger sibling of a special needs child, and she kind of became his alternate mom way too early. So This is her way of getting some childhood back. So these do look really cute if you offset them. But the tip that I wanted to show you is I was thinking, where the heck are the other berries? There's only this one stamp. Well, they're all in groups of 3 and then 1. So you're either, let me just show you instead of trying to explain it, because I mean, I've shown already that words are not my forte today. So that way we went like that. For the top of this one, we're going to rotate it like 45 degrees and do those berries. So there is only one set of berries and they work for both stamps, all the berries. I know this is a little tedious, but make sure that a gift wrapped like this goes to someone very special. This is tricky, and I can't say, oh, I'll finish it after, because my luck, I won't be able to stamp it because it'll be wrapped around the book in an area where I can't stamp. And then my dog will be like, Mom, you didn't stamp this part. Some of these are really better than others. But just keep going around. How many of you got the stamp cleaning pad from the clearance rack? I'm so glad that Melanie told me it was in there. I ordered 2 more of them. They haven't arrived because, of course, UPS is holding them hostage. Whoop. I think I just hit my phone. Sorry. Now, if you don't want to mess with this part, just take a marker and fill in these berries, because yes, this is tedious. We're almost done. So when I was making the first one, like 20 minutes ago, I was sitting here watching Netflix, and we've watched almost all of Shameless, but Dave's like, oh, I need a break. This is too much dysfunction. So I started watching The Crown yesterday. Has anyone watched that? I'm loving it. I'm only on the first season, but I mean, I just started watching it yesterday. But I think the way that they portray Queen Elizabeth explains a lot. Whoops, that one totally went off. If you have one berry, just kind of go back in. So the next thing I did was I just stamped some random berries. I know it's weird that there's always 3 plus 1, but so you can likely do something like this with any stamp set you have. Look at what you have, maybe something uninked, and then you can share it. Well, you could share it anyways, but share it, and maybe we'll start a hashtag, uninkedAF. And let's see what people haven't been using. Okay, that is probably enough for the berries. Now I'm going to put that away. I'll clean that stamp later. I'm going to grab some crumb cake. So I was talking about a craft room tour again. The one that I did earlier, I guess in the summer after I reorganized my room, is one of my most popular videos on my YouTube channel. Hint, hint, if you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, you really should. New video each and every week. And now I am streaming my Facebook Lives right to YouTube, this one included. So my craft room has changed a little bit since I did that tour, and I'm finding new and improved ways to store things. So I thought maybe it's time for another tour. I don't know, maybe it's too soon, but I'll record it and people either watch it or they don't. So I have to record Monday's video. I still have my Creativity Without Borders videos to record. And shameless plug here, but this is our very last Creativity Without Borders featuring the press-on stamp set. So if that is a stamp set that you want to work with, whether you have it or not, if you order the stamp set, you get a free round tin and 2 additional bonus projects. But this is the last one that Kelly and I are doing. It won't exist after this month. So don't hesitate. And I kind of want to go out with a bang. I would like to sell the most that I've ever sold in this class this month. And then I'll be like, why did we close it? You still use Stampin' Mist, Diane. I have it, but I haven't pulled out my Stampin' Mist or scrub in ages. Jude says, perfect time. Good time for you in BC. Awesome. Oh, Diane, an elf hat with ears would be so cute. I found a little headband that is like a Santa. It's almost like a fascinator. And I think it's in my car because my daughter put it in there and never brought it back. Oh, good, 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 Linda. No echo. No, Jenny, it doesn't. I mean, yeah, you could, but you don't have to. I'm streaming like this right now, and Wednesday's Facebook Live will be streaming to YouTube. So those that aren't on YouTube can watch. Okay, so I mentioned that I can't find tape on Amazon. And apparently Scotch tape is not an essential item. And we've used every last piece. Dave had us using packing tape without any kind of gun. It's annoying. So I'm like, okay. And in my craft room, I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal. But my Stampin' Seal stopped going easily, so I'm like, fine, forget it. Stampin' Seal Plus. So I'm kind of a nerd when I wrap. I like to fold over this one edge. I mean, I'm a nerd all the time, but we all have our things, right? Okay, so a little bit of Stampin' Seal, and if it pops up anywhere, I've just been going in with some Tombow. This is like wrapping during a pandemic. When you don't have tape, you don't have a wrapping paper. And I'd like to say it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not frivolous because, I mean, think about how much Stampin' Up! Products cost. I don't know. I'd say it's like a ghetto job, but I mean, this looks pretty cute. I'm making lemonade, people. Making lemonade. And I thought, I can't just use regular craft paper. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, for crying out loud. Okay, so I run a little bit of seal. I bet you're all prepared and actually have tape. And if I had been in the office in the last like 2 weeks, I might have a little bit of tape too. Worst case, when I was in later this week, I could have realized I had no tape and taken at least the tape dispenser from my desk. But no. And now that my son is self-isolating until midnight on December 20th, I don't think I can go in because I have had a cold all week and I'm the one that has to go in and bring him everything he needs. So I don't think that's going to work. Okay, I think because I focused a little bit more on what it was going to look like on the front, it looks a little bit better this time. And now all we have to do is the tag, which takes no time at all. I'm going to clean up all these stamps after. I'm using some garden green twine. I think this was from 2 years ago. I want to say this was the first year I did paper shares, product shares. And speaking of which, I'm going to be my own shameless plug segue. I have opened up registration for my product shares. So that's DSP, embellishments, ribbon, and it is open to those anywhere in Canada. I will tell you that I participate in my shares myself. It's the best way to get a little bit of everything. And since I need to demonstrate everything, I need to have it. So, I mean, I'll even have team members that sign up for shares because they may want all of it, but they don't. They're hobby demonstrators. They do it for their own discount. They don't need to have the whole catalog. So like I was saying, I have a whole bunch of these left over from our creativity delivered class. And what better to have on the inside of this than holly, right? It's just a match made in heaven. And the fact that this one has pear pizzazz, I was going to say that one has garden green, but I don't think so. Anyways, the fact that that one has pear pizzazz on the front was just perfect. I have a little piece of Very Vanilla here because I was creating my packaging for my team gifts. And for those of my team members watching, I'm going to apologize right now. We have a team meeting on Monday, and I was going to say it then, but I know some are watching. Long story short, I reached out to this woman to get my team gifts. I'm not going to say what they are because I'm not spoiling the surprise, because it's been a lot of work. She was not getting back to me, not getting back to me, not getting back to me. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, it's getting late. Side note, I'm going to stop here. I don't have the little mini, like 1/8 hole punch. So I have been using this one. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the one that has the little tag holes. And I use this. Now, when you're using this, if you see something in here, it's going to be punched. So basically just go a little bit in, make sure it's where you want it to be. My thumb decides to tremor now, and pop it out and get that hole out. Okay, so that's a great little tag thingy. And I'm not going to put that on there yet. Anyways, she finally got back to me yesterday in a panic saying that things have been crazy. She's so sorry. If she sends me the invoice today, she can get them done and get them in the mail. So long story short, they are going to be late because they're not going to get to me until probably December 18th, which I believe is next Friday. And I will have them like ready to go instantly because I've got all the packaging together. It's just going to be getting to the post office, and I can't leave the house until I'm asymptomatic. So still have sniffles. How stinking cute is this? So yes, to my team, I am going to get you your gifts as quick as I can. For those of you that don't live locally, I will be using UPS or some courier to get them to you quicker. And my local people, I will be dropping them off. Okay, so I haven't used this yet. Haven't used it. So here goes the first cut. It's so stinking cute. It's like, it's the same as the big one, but Minnie and Mickey. And oh, do you hear that? It's moving because I've got my little desk mat here. Other than that, I mean, it would have been fine, but there was no clicking, clacking, nothing. You know, when the first cut's there, it's not so bad. It's when there's like 9 million of them and it doesn't look pretty anymore. Okay. Linda asked how much creativity without borders is. Yeah, exactly. What's the Amish tape? One that is heavy that plays We Are Santa Elves. Oh, Linda, I guess that is a difference, right? Until people on YouTube start catching on, there's not going to be many people watching it on there. But you know what I love about YouTube? I will get back to my earlier comment. I remember. I love that I can speed it up. Not when it's live, but on the replay. I love that I can watch it at 1.5, 2 times because I don't have time to sit and watch a video all day. But I wanted to show you, like, so light, it fits in my hand. And I think other than taking a picture that I did the other day, I never close mine. But I think this little guy has earned its spot on my desk, and the bigger one is just kind of on my table over there because this doesn't take up any room. It's so stinking cute. Okay, Creativity Without Borders. I actually just sold one at a discounted price because I was thinking of festivity or creativity delivered. So, my friend, you got a deal. You know who you are. It is $65 plus tax and shipping. It's $65. I'll get back to you on whether the shipping was included or not. Part of the reason I'm not going to continue doing this is because I lose money on shipping all the time. Where did that label go? I just had it, right? I just took it out of there. Where the heck did it go? I'm losing it. Did I throw it out? Honestly, I don't know where that just went. Okay, well, I guess I'm doing another one. Oh, got stuck to the bottom. It is $65 and it includes, this one is a kit class, so it includes a lot of stuff. It, Oh, I don't have my project here. I was going to show you, if you caught my video yesterday, that is the bonus project, but it's using the press-on stamp set. It includes a package of the 2020-2022 in color DSP. Oops, I folded that the wrong way. It includes a roll of the cinnamon cider ribbon. It includes a package of the foam adhesive strips, so what you need to make shaker cards. The gold glitter enamel dots. Let me grab. Everything that's included is on this. So I made these little hot chocolate packs for my video yesterday. So you're getting the in color DSP, the cinnamon cider ribbon. I colored the gold enamel dots. Actually, there's no foam strips on here, but it is a great deal. And if you add on the press-on stamp set or equivalent, whoopsie, because I did offer that option to one of my other customers, I thought, you know what, if someone loves the press-on stamp set, they've already got it. So if you add on an equivalent or place an order of $30, then you can get one of those round tins and the bonus projects. Ink. So let me know if you have any questions. The sign up is on my Facebook page. It's also in my blog post from yesterday. And when you sign up, you get my designs, you get Kelly's designs, you get videos to go along, and they are yours forever. Now, my team has been receiving those videos for like the PDF for free. And that was part of the reason I held on to doing it as long as I did, because I wasn't making money. I didn't want to take something away from my team, but it's so much work, and I'm just not getting the results that I need to be able to justify it. So one of my tips is don't glue this down when it's laying down flat, because it won't fold nicely. Keep it folded and put it in there so you don't end up with a gap in here. Hope that makes sense. You can stamp a little something on there. I don't think I did on this one. Once it's tied, it's a little tricky to open, but I mean, my daughter's going to know it's for her. So all we have left is our little berries. So we'll bring the mini back in, and the holly leaves. So the bundle that I used for this one is another one that I really haven't used much. I did have Creativity Without Borders kit class on this one, and I think I sold one. So frustrating. So I'm doing 2 of the holly leaves, and then I've got the little berry, but I want to stamp them, and they are still right here. So I will use real red ink on real red cardstock for a tone-on-tone. If you happen to notice the to and from that I used, it's a gorgeous scripty font. And I was thinking this morning, I'm like, there are so many different to and froms. How am I ever going to find all these? But I thought of ones that were specifically like gifty. And that one, if you want to be able to use the same one, is from Parcels and Petals. So the stamp, it has this gorgeous little box, and I know I don't have any of them made around here, but if you cut out 2 of this, you glue them and create a box. But I thought it was a beautiful scripty font. Let's put that right away before I put my tag in it. Okay. I had a piece of purple tape. Oh, funny story. I don't know if Feline is still on here. My daughter, oh no, it wasn't good tape. My daughter, when we started running out of tape and she didn't want to use packing tape, took my purple tape. And I didn't know it. She's like, oh my God, that tape sucks, Mom. I'm like, what tape? She's like, that purple tape from your room. I'm like, oh, you did not use that. She's like, yeah, why? I'm like, that's not meant to be good tape. It's meant to be low tack. And do you know how much Feline spent to get that here? She's like, sorry. It was funny. Okay, so let's bring in the little mini. Seriously, ladies, I cannot tell you how light this is. I know Carolyn had her weekly Facebook Live this morning, and she mentioned me saying I had gotten this. She's one of my downline, and she said she wasn't sure she was going to get it. And I'm like, oh, As soon as I saw Tiffany using this last week in her live and how light it was and how little room it took up, I mean, I've been waiting for this ever since they announced it, but I'm a business demonstrator. I have to be able to demonstrate something in order to sell it. You do need a little bit of, you need, first of all, to not have a mat that moves. Put it on a flat surface where nothing is going to impede your grip. I mean, this doesn't move. It's the mat that's moving, this clear mat. Anyways, today was my first time using it, and I am in love. I want to show you a trick if you've never seen this before. If you have a die that doesn't easily come out, or you're in a room where you don't have your take your pick tool or something that can pop it out, of course it's not going to work. Just drop it. Usually when this happens, I'm sitting right by my fireplace, which has a nice hard hearth, and it pops right out. Of course, it's not going to happen now. I'm going to lose this die. It doesn't want to come out. Okay, well, ooh, that was supposed to work, but if it doesn't, just use your putty end. I think I was thinking earlier about mentioning my BOGO sale. I will be having a BOGO sale in January as soon as the catalog retires, which I believe is January 4th. I can start selling my retired items. And I figure I'm going to be smart about placing my pre-order this year because one, I haven't used everything I have. And if you've watched me live, you've heard me say this like umpteen times recently. I haven't used what I have, so I really don't need to order more unless I need it. Does it have feet? Yes, Feline is awesome. You are all awesome. It does have feet, and it doesn't slip anywhere else. It's because this mat isn't secured. Maybe at the end I'll show you that it doesn't move. I'll prove it. Anyways, I will have my BOGO details listed. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. The first year that I ever did a BOGO sale, it was live. People came to my house and it was first come, first serve. Last year for the annual catalog, when I was selling off my holiday catalog stuff, or I guess occasions, I had a Zoom call. I listed everything that was going to be retiring in like a Google Doc. And then I had a Zoom meeting, and basically the first person to say they wanted it claimed it. I'm thinking that's probably how I'm going to have to do it again, but time will tell. Okay, so you can leave your little tails as long or as short as you want them. And then the final step is just to grab a few dimensionals and pop these holly leaves up. Now, with the poinsettia hollies, they're not open like this one. So if you have the poinsettia petals bundle, these leaves you can't see through. I just used one on a gift, but these ones embossed, they don't cut through, if that makes sense. They emboss the detail. So if you have this one and want to do, I mean, I'm not assuming that you're going to recreate this step by step, but if you want to have a holly that you can't see through, use that one. This one creates little holes, like it cuts that part. So super cute, but it also means that you can see the dimensional in spots. So I put full-size ones on there and a mini on the berries. You probably can't see much of the berries, but trust me, in person, they look a lot better than if I had just cut those berries without stamping them. I missed anything? Yeah, exactly, Feline, right? Never works like it's supposed to. Now, the one thing I will caution you on is to make sure you put your holly leaves on low enough that the berries fit. Ask me how I know this. So I'm going to put this one down here. Oh, my stomach's growling. I haven't eaten in hours. How did I do that one? Okay, pop our berries on. You could do some Winkastella or something on there, but that's it. Symphony. So what do you think? She's going to be like, why do these two look exactly the same? So I will take a picture of the other gifts that I've done. None of them are as elaborate as this one. I mean, I used the weighted goat. I got my son Men Who Stare at Goats movie because he's wanted it for ages. And I don't know if you'll notice the goats on the outside, but I did that. I did one with the Don't Stop Believin' with the elf in a tangle, and I colored that one with blends. But other than that, I mean, the craft paper has just been Sahara sand, and then I do a little something on the tag. So these are definitely more elaborate. Anyways, that is it. I thank you for joining me on this very impromptu Facebook Live. I hope you enjoyed the first Uninked AF. It seems to take a little bit of time for YouTube to do its thing and transition so that it is viewable. But if you're catching the replay, just give me a hashtag replay so that I know when you saw it. Although it doesn't really make a difference. I just always hear people saying, give me a hashtag replay. Anyways, I'm going to go eat something and keep wrapping because, like Melanie said, I'm going to be here for a while. Okay, I will see you soon, my crafty friends. Bye.